strong friends, and you might not believe it, but 2018 is almost over. It's almost my favorite time of year, which is New Year's Day. Yeah, I don't even get excited about New Year's Eve. I love New Year's Day. I love a fresh start. New year, new me, what can I say? If you've ever seen my fitness transformation videos, you know that New Year's resolutions have kept me on track. New Year's resolutions have made me pretty much who I am. So this video is going to give you a few ideas on New Year's resolutions that you can think about to get inspired by or try yourself. The first one is going to be definitely the most boring. Unfortunately, they get more fun, but the first one is just to keep up with your health screening, whether that means going to the doctor and getting tests or using a service like our sponsor for the day, which is Let's Get Checked. Let's Get Checked is an at-home health test that you can complete in the comfort of your own home. At-home health test. That's literally what that means. I actually did a couple of at-home health tests with Let's Get Checked. I did a female fertility test, a test looking at my cortisol, and also a thyroid test. Those are all things that I was interested in understanding as I'm thinking about my overall health and my goals for 2019 and looking beyond that. Thanks to Let's Get Checked for sponsoring this video. If you guys are interested in checking them out, then click the link in the description down below and you can use my discount code MEG15 for an additional discount. Number 2 on the list is to max or improve your max pull-up strength or get your first pull-up. If you don't yet have your first pull-up, then you should really focus on trying to get one. I feel like it's the first huge benchmark in strength training, and it's something that every strong person can do. So if you're just getting started in the strength world, then try to get that first pull-up. A link down below that will give you a free pull-up program. Make this year the year that you finally get one. Number 3, commit to a dry or sober January. Giving yourself a detox from drinking, even if it's just social drinking, might be something to kick off your fitness goals. A thing that has held me back in the past was always social activities and feeling uncomfortable if I was at a party and not drinking. I think doing a sober January might help you think of ideas on social activities that are outside of the bar or outside of partying. I struggled with when I was at the beginning of my fitness journey. Now I still do enjoy drinks here and there or a glass of wine. If you're someone that's finding it hard to commit to goals because of your social life, it's a 30-day habit that might turn into an overall adjustment in your lifestyle. If you haven't yet competed, you may have the question on whether or not you're strong enough to even sign up for a meet. First of all, I want to let you know that there is no limit. You really literally just have to be able to lift the bar. So there's no like lower barrier stopping you from competing in powerlifting. I think really good benchmarks to understand that you're a pretty strong person is if you can bench your body weight, squat 1.5 times your body weight, and deadlift maybe 2.5 times your body weight. It's totally okay if you're not there, but maybe in 2019, as you're thinking about what your strength goals are, I think those are very, I don't want to say elite, but those are advanced benchmarks for women that you might want to think about trying to hit before you commit to getting into a meet. Like I said, if you're feeling ready to compete or confident in competing, then you don't have to come even close to those, but those are more advanced benchmarks that you might want to try to get towards. 5 is probably the most dramatic or drastic resolution yet, and that's to try a Whole30. Now, Whole30 is a very serious diet, so know that when you're getting into it, and it is a complete and utter lifestyle change. But it is something that if you're feeling like you don't really understand principles of nutrition or you don't eat healthy at all, a Whole30 is something to shake that up and help you get in the habit, or rather force you to get in the habit of eating vegetables and meat and cutting out any processed food and cutting out most of the sugar and alcohol in your diet. Number 6 is to get a little creative and try old school strongman things. There are a ton of lifts that have been forgotten in history, and forgotten because we just train at the same kind of gyms, like global gyms with a bunch of machines. But if you want to try some badass stuff, then look into strongman training or just experimenting with old school strongman lifts that have been since forgotten. Things like the Jefferson deadlift and the Steinborn squat are things that we just don't see anymore. So I think it'd be cool if some of us made a commitment to looking into the actual history of strength and understanding some of the movements that people did before equipment was really even there. Odds are, if you're the strong one in your family or the strong one in your group of friends, people are always asking you at parties or weird situations to like show them tricks or show your strength. So maybe 2019 is the year that you learn some sort of weird strength party trick. Now there are a couple things that you could do, things like a flagpole, things like a front lever, or you could even pick up a tiny human and do like a Turkish get up with a tiny human. There are a ton of different party tricks that you can do. So figure out your strength party trick that you can show all your friends and be cool for once in your life, because spending your time in the gym all day usually isn't cool. But if you have a party trick, then it might be. Number 8 is something that I've always wanted to do, and that's learn how to climb those freaking pegboards. Seen in CrossFit a lot of times, these pegboards have been the hardest, seem like the hardest thing to do, but I'm always really impressed when people can master the pegboard. So I'm gonna be working on my grip strength and also whatever strength it is to get up that pegboard this year. So let's see if I can do it. You might not be a CrossFitter yourself, but I do feel like the CrossFit Open is one of the biggest fitness events in the world nowadays, and it's just so cool that so many people come together and do these workouts and kind of test their strength and fitness at the same time. I think that the CrossFit Open is a goal that maybe you could shoot towards. It is early on in the year, so it's sort of a short-term goal that you can think about, not something that you need to worry about for the entire year. But if you're kind of lost on your fitness journey or where to turn next, then maybe think about training for the CrossFit Open. You definitely won't be alone. A ton of people will be doing it with you, and you could probably learn something new and get in shape while you're training for it. One of the strongest women in the world, Steffi Cohen, told me that she thinks all powerlifters and weightlifters should do Pilates. I tried it one time and it's probably one of the hardest things that I can imagine doing, but Pilates is a great way to train your core and train your overall strength so that you have full control. If you're a powerlifter or interested in strength, then maybe think about doing or incorporating a Pilates routine, even if it's just once a week. Number 11 is inspired by me getting my phone stolen this year, or in 2018. I haven't had a phone in a long time. I've lost it, and there's like this whole drama with getting it back from insurance. Okay, we don't need to go into that. But yeah, I don't have a phone. I do use Ryan's phone when I need it. Ditching my smartphone has been one of the most productive things that I've done in a very long time. It's also been good for my mental health when thinking about my social media presence and just getting too lost in the mix of who I am online. So if you find yourself always reaching for Instagram, or reaching for your cell phone in the middle of the night, first thing in the morning, or even before you go to bed, or just throughout the day as you're at your desk trying to focus on things, I think ditching your smartphone and finding a way to figure out how to detach from it is something that will help your health and fitness immensely. It is a habit of mine, and maybe it's a habit of yours, to look at my phone in between sets, and it's usually not looking at my phone for lifting related things. I'm usually just distracted. I'm not focused on my workout. If you find that you're this type of person too, then I think that this could probably be one of the best resolutions for you. I've had to do it because someone robbed me, but it has been something that I've been really thankful for, kind of taking a step away from always being connected. A daily meditation routine is something that I have tried to make a habit for so many years in a row, and only until recently, since I lost my smartphone, have I been able to find time for it, I guess. I say that reluctantly because it's only 10 minutes a day that I'm spending doing a daily meditation practice. I'm not really good at it, but I am 50 days in a row with a meditation routine. Lucky number 13 is to commit to a strength program. If you haven't already, you should probably be focusing your efforts in an organized strength program that's helping you progressively overload over time. If you're the type of person to just grab workouts from here and there and try something that one influencer or coach has put out there and then try something else the next day, this really is the year that you need to ditch all of that and focus your efforts on an organized strength program that is created to get you strong. It doesn't have to be specifically written for you. It can be something that you still find online. There are a ton of free resources out there that I have. I'll link them down below. Number 14 is to run a 5K. Everyone does it, but strong people refuse. Number 15 is a 12-week goal that you can do, and that's to track your macros for 12 weeks. Getting started tracking your macros is something that you do need to commit a bit of time to, and it could be a lifestyle change that completely changes the way you look at how you eat, whether that be tracking them to hit a certain goal or tracking them just to understand what you're putting into your body will be a great step in understanding how to program your nutrition and how to understand what you're eating that actually makes you feel good and perform well in the gym. Number 16 is to find your signature dish or signature meal that you can make that tastes delicious and is good for you. Number 17 is to build a mini home gym. Now, it doesn't have to be a home gym like my garage gym, which I think is awesome. By just getting, maybe if someone hasn't bought you Christmas gifts yet, or you have to return things on Amazon, maybe exchange them for things like a pull-up bar that you can put on the door, an ab roller, resistance bands. Those are all things that don't take up much space, and you just have a mini home gym. Number 18 is to improve your overall mobility. If you are someone who's just getting started in your fitness journey and don't really know what that means, I would like to encourage you to focus this year, because it might take an entire year depending on where you are, to try and get into the proper position of a front rack and a good squat with your heels on the ground. Number 19 is strictly for the ladies, and that's to switch from using tampons and pads to a more health conscious sustainable option. I like to use a Diva cup or sometimes the Flex menstrual discs. They take up less materials and they produce less waste. Those eco-conscious benefits are honestly like the least appealing thing, maybe not the least appealing thing, but you're not making any sacrifices in comfort or convenience. I can guarantee you that. I think that using a menstrual cup has been something that has made it so that my period is no longer a huge pain in the ass. It's only a slight pain in the ass. So if you haven't yet done this, then listen to me, like, make the change to change from tampons and pads to a freaking cup. You'll never regret the decision to do this, at least in my opinion. Number 20 is to start a bullet journal. I've always been sort of a journal nerd, but I find that a bullet journal is just a fun way, I know these aren't that exciting, is a fun way to be a little bit creative, but also keep track of everything. Put some more like resources down below if you're interested in bullet journaling, but I think it's a great way to organize your life and your year in 2019. Number 21 is a strength goal that could be pretty easy to incorporate into your life, and that's to do 100 push-ups a day. Number 22 is for my powerlifting friends out there. You may have noticed that USAPL Nationals has changed their qualifying totals again, and now it's getting kind of tough to qualify for nationals. So if you've found yourself outside of that range or don't yet know about powerlifting and want to shoot for that range, then think about qualifying for USAPL nationals, making that a big focus for you this year. Number 23 is to reset with maybe yoga Sundays. So after a long week and after a long week of training, maybe you want to think about incorporating a restorative yoga practice, and that could be just doing something at home or something to kind of reset your week and get you geared up for the week to follow. Number 24 is to find yourself an active hobby. And number 25 for my last resolution in this video is to try and clear out your clutter and junk and take a more minimal approach to life. Sometimes I watch videos of people who claim to be people who are minimalist, and I think that that is just a drastic lifestyle that I personally cannot commit to, but I think most of us can benefit from clearing out some of the junk and clearing out some of the clutter. One small thing that I'm doing is I found a Nook. Do you guys remember what those are? I found a Nook from like 7 years ago that I never really used, but instead of buying new books, new paperback books, starting to use my Nooks, I have less things, so I can streamline what I'm doing, and that's just one way so that I don't have a bunch of shit everywhere. So yeah, that's it. That's it for my New Year's resolutions. Thanks to Let's Get Checked for sponsoring this video. check them out in the description down below. And that's all. I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much. If you found any of these helpful, please do give this video a like and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Okay, bye. Happy New Year. Hope you guys have all had safe and happy holidays. Ryan and I are actually in Mexico right now. Let me show you. What a gorgeous day. Now that I'm finally done making this video, I will go to the pool. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.